It's the last day of school, and Lily, a quiet senior who's always stayed on the outskirts of social circles, is excited to get her yearbook signed by her classmates. High school has been tough, but today feels like the closure she needs. As she walks through the crowded hallways, her heart lifts when she sees familiar faces. She's ready to make some final memories before moving on. The school is buzzing with excitement. Laughter fills the halls as students sign yearbooks, take photos, and say their goodbyes. Lily approaches her closest group of friends, Katie, Jess, and Emma, hoping they'll add their signatures to her yearbook. They smile and hug her, scribbling down quick messages. Lily feels a sense of belonging that she's rarely experienced before. But later, when Lily sits down to read the messages, she notices something strange. Some of the pages are blank. The notes she distinctly remembers reading from Katie and Jess are gone. At first, she thinks it's just a printing error or maybe the ink faded, but it keeps happening. As she flips through more pages, more signatures disappear. Even the picture from this morning, taken with her best friends, is missing. She brushes it off, assuming it's just a weird glitch or a smudge on the page. As the day goes on, things get weirder. When she tries to talk to Katie in the cafeteria, Katie barely acknowledges her. Jess and Emma act like they don't even see her. When Lily tries to join their group at lunch, they pretend she's not there. Confused and hurt, she walks through the halls, seeking out other classmates she's known for years. But it's the same with everyone. People she's known since elementary school seem to have forgotten her completely. Her locker is next. Lily finds it empty, as if she'd never been assigned it in the first place. Even her nameplate above it is missing. The final straw comes when she runs into her teacher, Mrs. Dawson. Lily had been close to her all year. Mrs. Dawson looks through her, calling her by another name, insisting she doesn't teach a student named Lily. Panicking, Lily races to the school office. She demands to see her student file, convinced that something is terribly wrong. When she opens the file, her heart sinks. There's nothing inside. No transcripts, no attendance records, no photographs. It's as if she never existed. In a frantic search for answers, Lily combs through old yearbooks stored in the library. That's when she stumbles upon a newspaper article from 10 years ago. The headline reads, "Student dies in tragic accident on last day of school." The picture is of a girl who looks exactly like her. Same face, same name, same high school graduation year, but a decade ago. Lily feels the ground shift beneath her. Everything starts to blur around her, the world fading in and out of focus. She realizes, with dawning horror, that she's not really here. She's been reliving her last day of school for years, slowly fading as time wears on. She's a ghost, stuck in the past, forgotten by the world. And now, even she is beginning to forget herself. Alex and his friends, Jason, Emily, and Taylor, are seniors on the verge of freedom. It's the last day of school, and they're planning one final prank to celebrate. They decide to sneak into the old, creepy locker room after hours to set up a water balloon ambush for the underclassmen. The locker room has always had a reputation for being haunted, a rumor spread by students over the years. But none of them believe it. At least not until tonight. As the group sneaks into the locker room, the eerie silence envelops them. The school, now mostly deserted, feels oppressive. Their laughter fades as they step deeper into the damp, dimly lit room. The air is thick with the smell of mildew, and the flickering fluorescent lights cast long, unsettling shadows. "Let's get this over with," Alex mutters, trying to shake off the uncomfortable feeling settling in his stomach. They begin setting up the water balloons, but things quickly take a strange turn. Jason suddenly notices a locker door creak open on its own. Emily jokes about it being a ghost, but Alex can see the unease in her eyes. Taylor, always the skeptic, shrugs it off, claiming it's just the air pressure. As they finish up, Alex hears faint footsteps echoing from deeper within the locker room. He turns, expecting to see one of his friends, but there's no one there. The others laugh it off, but Alex's unease grows. The locker room feels wrong, like it's watching them. When they finally decide to leave, the locker room door won't budge. Panic sets in. The door is stuck, and the school is empty. They're trapped. As they frantically try to force the door open, the lights start flickering violently. That's when they hear the sound scratching from inside the walls. Taylor, still skeptical, yanks open one of the lockers, trying to find something to pry the door open. Inside is an old, worn-out notebook. It's filled with disturbing drawings, figures lurking in the shadows, eyes staring from the corners of the room. There are dates scribbled next to the drawings. Today's date is at the bottom, along with the words, "One will not leave." Terrified, they turn to find Jason missing. They frantically search the locker room, but he's gone. The flickering lights cast terrifying shadows across the room, and the scratching grows louder. As they try to make sense of what's happening, Alex remembers the rumor about a student who went missing in the locker room years ago, never to be seen again. The student had died, locked inside overnight, lost to the darkness. The locker room has been haunted ever since, and now it's claimed Jason. One by one, the group starts disappearing. Alex is the last one left, realizing too late that the locker room was never a place for pranks. It's a trap, a haunted space that feeds on fear, and now it's coming for him. The last day of school brings an unexpected surprise for Sarah and her classmates. Their favorite teacher, Mr. Thompson, is out sick, replaced by a substitute. The substitute, Mr. Finch, is unlike any teacher they've had before, his presence unnerving, his appearance gaunt and pale. But the most unsettling thing is the way he seems to know personal details about the students, things no teacher could possibly know. From the moment Mr. Finch steps into the classroom, the atmosphere changes. The usual excitement of the last day of school is replaced by a creeping sense of dread. Mr. Finch doesn't smile or greet the students. He just stands at the front of the room, staring at them with cold, calculating eyes. As he takes attendance, Sarah notices something strange. He's not reading from the attendance sheet. He's calling out names in a slow, deliberate manner, pausing after each one. When he gets to Sarah's name, he stares at her for an uncomfortably long time before moving on. The air feels thick, and the room seems darker, even though the sun is shining outside. Throughout the class, Mr. Finch asks bizarre, intrusive questions. Do you believe everything you see? Have you ever felt like you're being watched, even when you're alone? His voice is low and monotone, sending chills down Sarah's spine. The other students start exchanging uneasy glances, but no one says anything. Things take a turn when Sarah and her friend Lucy start receiving text messages from an unknown number. The messages are cryptic. Time is running out. He knows. At first, they think it's a prank, but the messages get more specific, mentioning things they had talked about only moments before in whispered conversations. As the clock ticks toward the end of the day, Mr. Finch becomes more menacing. The lights flicker, the air grows colder, and the door to the classroom mysteriously locks. Sarah feels trapped. Something is horribly wrong, and she can feel it in her bones. Sarah and Lucy try to leave, but the door won't budge. Desperate, Sarah calls the front office, only to be told there's no substitute teacher assigned to her class today. Mr. Finch isn't real. Sarah approaches Mr. Finch, demanding answers. When she reaches out to touch him, her hand passes straight through his body. She stumbles back in horror as the lights flicker violently. The classroom starts to warp around her, and she realizes she's not just dealing with a substitute teacher. She's dealing with something far darker. Mr. Finch isn't a teacher at all. He's a ghost, trapped in the school after a tragic accident years ago. His spirit returns each year on the last day of school to torment the students. And now, it's Sarah's turn. As the lights go out completely, the room falls silent. When they come back on, Mr. Finch is gone. The door unlocks, and Sarah stumbles out, shaken and terrified. But the final text message she receives before leaving sends a chill down her spine. Thanks for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed the journey. If you loved the twists and turns, don't forget to hit the like button and share the stories with your friends. Make sure to subscribe and tap the notification bell so you never miss out on our next thrilling tale, because there's always a new mystery or adventure just around the corner. Until next time, keep imagining, keep exploring, and remember, nothing is ever quite what it seems.